Hey folks, Adam here, and we're about to talk about Celebration Key. Now, Celebration Key is Carnival Cruise Line's new official island to rival Coco Cay and the Disney Island, and they cannot wait to show it off to you. But despite how exciting and fun it looks, there's a lot of reasons you may not want to travel there right now. Join me as we're going to tell you a little bit of the history, give you the facts and figures, and then we're going to tell you why you may not want to travel to Celebration Key right now. Let's go ahead and check it out and kick it off right about now. So this Grand Bahama Island is approximately 329 acres, with about 68 acres developed, with 100 acres of wetland, and nature trails spanning over 55 acres. This is truly an enormous project that has about 4,000 staff on site. And you know what else? This thing cost nearly $600 million to build. Now it has a capacity of 13,000 guests, and they expect to expand that to about 18,000 guests in the coming years. And they're looking at 2 million people this year alone, and likely 4 million people a year in the future. Now, with over 1 mile of pristine white sand beach, it's home to the Caribbean's largest freshwater lagoon and some very cool adult-oriented zones. It's got a signature 10-story sand castle observation site that is truly fantastic and helps you orient yourself to the island. At any given time, you can see where you are. Just look for that sand castle. There are 30 food and beverage locations. There's quick service halls, restaurants, including 2 massive swim-up bars at the lagoon, the largest swim-up bar in the world. It's also got 5 themed portals: Paradise Plaza, Starfish Lagoon for families, Calypso Lagoon for adults, the Pearl Cove Beach Club, which has 18 exclusive retreat areas and 11,000 square foot infinity pool. And there's Locono Cove, which is an artesian market for you to pick up some snacks and some gifts. Construction started in 2022. It opened in July 2025. There's about 2,500 jobs created, and it has an economic impact of about $3.2 billion, and it increases the GDP of the Bahamas, and it's actually paying some tax money into the Bahamas because this is technically a Bahamian island. And of course, there's a lot of extras and add-ons. Sandcastle racing slides. The slides are right down the sandcastle. It's $14.99, and for the day you can take those slides. They're 350 feet. There's a snorkel gear rental of about $20 a person. There's a luxury daybed, $150. You can get a standard cabana for $600. That includes snacks. You can get the large cabana, which will fit your whole family, and a couple more, for $900. There's the Aquabana, which is a cabana over the water. Again, that is $450. And the Super Villa, the Super Villa is $1,800. It's in Calypso and Starfish areas, and it has a water lounger, a table, some shade canopies, some slides, etc. You can also join the Pearl Beach Club. That's $99 for the infinity pool, the loungers, the private access to restaurant and meals. The open bar package, $140 for up to 10 alcoholic drinks. The all-inclusive package that includes lunch and drinks for $180. The Pearl Cove Cabana, all the way up to the Super Villa Cabana. Those cabanas can range upwards of $2,800. So what's one of the main reasons you wouldn't want to go there? Now, I want you to think about this from an economic standpoint. There's a lot of reasons you would want to go to such a beautiful and lush area. But one of the big things is that this was created in order to keep people from having to go to those islands that have been built or that have grown up around cruise ships. Think about that. If you're in Haiti, Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, you've built your entire city around a cruise port. You charge taxes, you have an economy that rolls with that, you have bars and restaurants and tour groups and all sorts of things that are stimulated and created and taxed because of cruise ports. And some geniuses at corporate Carnival decided, you know what? Why don't we keep all that money for ourselves? Let's go ahead and we're going to create our own island. We don't have to pay nearly as many taxes. And if there's an excursion, it goes through us. If somebody buys lunch, it goes through us. If they buy a cabana or they get a drink, it comes through us. So by supporting this island, you're actually kind of hurting the local economy of these cities and restaurants and buildings and things that have grown up over 50, 60 years. Another reason you may not want to go right now is because it's incredibly hot in the summer. It gets upwards of 90 degrees, and that can be a little jarring for somebody who is not used to that temperature. So it may not be a great reason to go. There's also a reason you're not getting an authentic island experience. This was an uninhibited sandbar before Carnival went and bought it. So think about that. There's nothing really there. So they got their own plant nursery. They brought their own workers in from around the world, although many were Bahamian. But they went ahead and created this faux experience that is nothing like actual travel. So even though you're flying down probably to Miami or someplace, you're taking a boat to the Bahamas, you get off in the Bahamas, and it's a place that is supposed to look like the Bahamas without actually being the Bahamas. They have a plant nursery that brings plants in from South America and Africa, plants them into the ground, and when they die, they just replace them out. And you don't get any actual experience of culture. There's no history there. There's no ruins or any cultural education to happen. And you're not actually helping any of the locals because there are no actual locals here. Sure, they have a deal with the Bahamian government to employ some Bahamians, but most of the people are employed from the ship. Think about that. These are people coming all the way from India and around the world, Myanmar, and Lord knows where. They get off the ship, they're serving you drinks on the ship, then they get on the island when you get there, and they serve you drinks there. So there's no actual tropical authenticity to it. In addition, the prices can be a little pricey. Like I said, easily $2,800 for a superior cabana experience. They control all the prices on the island. Sure, you can get off the ship. You can maybe have your drink package. You can maybe have lunch. But in reality, there are so many upcharges. They charge you to ride a slide, and everything goes right back to the cruise line. There's nothing going to the locals. There's nothing going to the local government, anything like that, because it is completely controlled in this fake environment, which is admittedly very fun and very safe. And that's one of the reasons maybe you want to go there is because it is indeed probably more safe than going to some areas, some islands in the Bahamas. However, it's just not an authentic experience. And if you're in it for authenticity, this may not be the choice for you. Also, it's incredibly crowded. We've all seen YouTube videos about Celebration Key. It doesn't look too crowded. That's because they invited a bunch of influencers to the island to make it look super fun, and they only parked one boat there at the time. But when they start getting 2, 3, and maybe even 4 in the future, boats parked there, this island is going to get more and more crowded. When they did a lot of the YouTube videos about this, they only had about 3, 4,000 people on the island. They're going to have 13,000 plus cruise guests on the island, and that really starts to be crowded. So you're going to wait in longer lines, and that is questionable as well. Then to get to the island, it's a little bit of a long walk, and you're walking around on the island. So if you're not somebody who's comfortable putting on 10, 15,000 steps in the sun, this may not be the stop for you. You may want to stay on your Carnival ship instead of getting off and walking around in the sun and being in a kept environment spending your money. Also, and I think this is a ripoff because this isn't the case with every cruise line, but their drink package isn't part of the island. So even though it's the same people pouring your drinks, even though it's the same company, they say you got to buy separate drinks just to be on the island. Like I said, that can easily be $180 for the full package, the VIP package. So even if you paid for every day on your cruise to have the cruise drink package, you get off the ship, you go to their bar run by their bartender who works on the ship, and suddenly you're paying a premium and you're paying again for that drink. And again, the big thing I don't like is the artificial vibe. This is more of a theme park, a westernized theme park that they plopped right into the Bahamas. You're not getting a real Bahamian experience. You're not getting an island experience. And even when you get off, there's people greeting you that they dress in costumes that it's from a wardrobe department. So there's nothing wrong with that. But it's more like if you go to Disney World and you go to Epcot and you see France in Epcot, it's great, but it's not the same as actually going to France. There's also a feel of being rushed on the island because you're only allowed on the island for about 6 hours. So you're kind of, everybody gets off, everybody gets in line, everybody rushes off the ship, does everything they can, comes back 4 or 5 hours later, and that's it. On top of that, please remember that it's hurricane season from June to November. So if you're going in those hot summer months, it can get a little, the weather can be questionable out in the Bahamas. So even if you've booked a cruise, if there's a hurricane out there, they may skip the island altogether. There's also somewhat limited nature exploration on the island, particularly since there isn't much nature on that island before Carnival kind of built it up. I'll also say that if you like hiking, snorkeling, reef exploring, there's not much untouched nature out there. Sure, they're going to offer some excursions, but they're kind of man-made excursions. It's like when I went on Royal Caribbean and we paid to go on the pig beach, only to find out that they brought pigs there just to be on the beach. They weren't native, they weren't a historic legacy that got off a pirate ship or whatever. They just brought some pigs onto the beach and were like, $100 you can play with these pigs. Same thing here. Everything is kind of forced and fake. Certainly can be fun though. Now, I gotta say, there's a lot of reasons that you should want to go to this island. First off, it's beautiful. They spent a $500 million plus making this thing gorgeous, and the water slides are fun, and it's very walkable, and the scenery, it's gorgeous, right? Like I said, they've got a plant nursery there, and they're building some beautiful, beautiful designs. They've got some really great architecture there. It's gorgeous to see. That big sand castle is super fun. So there's a lot of reasons to go there. Those restaurants are also delicious. So this is a fun environment for you. So we just want to give you a caveat that this may or may not be for you. And it's really worth your own decision whether or not you want to make the trip to Celebration Key. If it's up to me, you got to go at least once. But it may not be for everyone. I also love that they've got two of the largest pools in the Caribbean, and the pools themselves actually have like a rubberized bottom, so you can walk on them and it's not like walking on concrete. They've really done a great job making something that's safe, super fun, and suitable for everyone. So with the stunning beaches, they've got over a mile of sandy beach. If you like the beach and you just want to see the beach, this is a must-see. It's got a purpose-built experience that's exactly perfect for people who just want to relax, cut back, and have some drinks. Some of the largest pools in the Caribbean, in the world, and of course the water slides and family fun are fantastic, and they've got some adults-only areas if you want to get away from the kids. Plus, like I said, there's tons of food options, over 30 dining and drink venues that are highly recommended, that are rated at the top of the charts because it's all brand new and it's a must-see. Also, like I said, that adults-only Pearl Cove Beach Club is super fun for the family, for adults. Now, with that being said, folks, this is our new channel. This will only be one of our first videos. So I am begging you, please leave a comment. It helps us so much in the algorithm, and I really do appreciate the comments because that's why I do this. I like the interaction. I'm not monetized. This is just for fun. I also ask that you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell. I would greatly appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and that would just be greatly appreciated. That being said, my name is Adam. I'm here with Amy. We've traveled the world. We love it. We try to go to a new location at least once a month. So stick around. We've got some travel videos coming up about Thailand, about Cancun. I think in 2 weeks we're going to Cancun, and then we're going to Las Vegas again. And we have a big trip planned for a couple months from now that will take us to Tokyo, maybe to Dubai on the way home, definitely to Thailand and Vietnam. So make sure to subscribe for more videos about fun travel and adventures. And we're not going to forget those cruise ships. We've got a Virgin Cruise Line gimmick coming up soon that we can't wait to tell you about too. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Click that subscribe button. Adios, amigos.